Randy Burke.
Here.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Here.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Here. Will everyone please rise as you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. This is our new home for the City Council. All of our board meetings, City Council meetings, planning and zoning, airport board meetings, and probably a few boards that I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is where we're going to do business from now on. The layout is a little bit different. You notice that we have the city administrators and staff here in front of us. They'll be talking with us. We are going to get microphones in here. I'm sorry, can everyone hear me right now? Okay, good acoustics. Sometimes we have a point that you may not hear something. If you are going to come up and address the council, I'll ask that you could come up over here to this lectern. And please state your name and where you live. So if something comes up and we need to get a hold of you, we can, or at least know who you are. Okay, we will be going into closed session tonight. What will be different is that when we go into closed session, everyone can stay here if you want to. You don't have to leave the room. We will go to a separate room, and then we'll come back in here, go back in open session, and adjourn. Is probably the way we're going to do that. Okay, but we're going to go to a different room. This is the way in the layouts that most cities have. Okay, so this is a professional space for the council. Okay, approval of the agenda. Mickey, do you have any?
Yes, staff would like to request under new business 7A that be a first and second reading to allow, if that passes, for budgetary reasons. And then also point F under new business, a first and second reading to establish the meeting space as this location.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve the agenda with the stated modifications to items 7A and 7F.
I'll second the motion.
Call the roll.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Aye.
Okay. Agenda's minute is voted. All right. Now we're going to go into public comments. Public comments, we'd like to be able to comment everyone that's here, and if you could come over here, you get 3 minutes. I have 4 people here that I know want to talk to us, and so I'm just going to call out the names as they are in the order of the cards. Tracy Henderson, if you come up to the lectern if you want to talk.
I could, but I'm kind of like, I'm going to kind of agree. I've never been to one of these, but I didn't bring notes, but I know that I'm kind of on the same page with some of my neighbors. So could she maybe go first?
Sally.
Sally.
Sally, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Sally Pryor. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Sally Pryor, and I live at 336 West Hazel. And I've lived there for over 20 years. I'm speaking tonight because the proposed rezoning of a single-family lot to a multi-family lot is not appropriate for our neighborhood. This is a quiet single-family street with the majority of the population being older residents who depend on stable, predictable environment. It's also home to young families, including 4 small children who live directly beside the multi-family lot that you want to rezone. Introducing a rental multifamily structure in the middle of this block would significantly increase traffic, noise, and parking pressure in a way that directly undermines the safety and livability of the people who currently live there. This request for spot zoning, taking one isolated lot, forcing a land use onto it, it does not serve the residents who live here. It does not align with sound planning principles, and it does not have the community support I thank you for your time and your consideration. And I'd like to go ahead and submit the petition that was signed in our community.
Sure. If you'll just give it to the clerk here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sally, I appreciate it. I have a few other people that were on the list to talk. They're all concerning the Hazel Street. Is there anything else you'd like to add for either Geneva, Wesley, or Tracy? If you'd like to add to Sally's comments, please feel free to do so now. Okay, Wesley, go ahead.
All right. Wesley Wilkinson, 337 Hazel Street. We're immediately to the west of the house, well, the lot that y'all are trying to rezone. And I apologize if my voice gets quavery. I do not like talking in front of people. Those are my 4 kids back there. We're here not doing homework because we really highly object to y'all changing the zone. We just moved in May. We looked at a lot of different houses in Monett, and we were looking for one that had a really quiet street. We knew our kids could ride the bikes up and down and not worry about traffic. And the first time that they put the little sign in the front of the lot, that was disturbing. We signed the petition, and then it went away. We were like, okay, good. Then it came back, and it's just a real kick in the teeth. So that's really all I wanted to say.
Okay, thanks, Wesley. Okay, Tracy or Geneva?
I'm Pam Hardwick, and I'm speaking for my mother, Geneva Stevenson. She's lived there over 24 years. And at the time before they moved in, they were living in Arizona. And so we kids went looking for a home for them to move back to Missouri. And that street caught our eye because it was quiet. It was, we didn't have to worry about evil things going on as much. And we were really, thought that was the right street for them to move back to. Well, now this has come up, and my mom is 90 years old, and I want her to be able to live in a house, a street that is quiet, that she doesn't have to worry about the neighbors. She doesn't have to worry about so much traffic coming and going all the time. And so I really am against this rezoning. Thank you.
My name is Tracy Henderson. I live at 329 Hazel Street. And I just want to say, we have talked among ourselves with between the neighbors. Like she said, we all oppose it. And I agree with everything that these people have stood up here and said. I feel exactly the same way that they do. I moved in 2017 to where I'm at, and it is a really quiet street. We do have some loud noise on down, but it's, across behind me, but they're more on that street. They don't come up our street. It's just, they go that way, and our street stays pretty quiet. And, I like it over there. I enjoy it. I enjoy my neighbors. I like my neighbors. To where when you have nothing against duplexes or anything, I've lived in apartment buildings, in my lifetime, but you have a lot of people moving in and out all the time, so you actually don't really get to know your neighbors sometimes, to where when you're in the neighborhood for, several years, you know who lives there. You know who those people are as a rule, because they're not just moving in and out. So that's the only thing I would like to add maybe to what Wesley and Sally and Mrs. the mother to Mrs. Stevens. That's just pretty much duplicate, so that's pretty much all I have to say. And I don't like talking in front of people either. I'm a talker, but not in front of people. I'm doing better than I thought I would, so.
All right, thank you, Tracy.
All right, thank you.
We're going to revisit tonight when we get into new business. Okay, do we have a consent agenda? Most minutes? Any motions on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda from December 11th, 2025, council meeting.
Second?
Call the roll?
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gasper.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Indovina.
Okay, next we're going to go into old business. These are second readings. Okay, and most are planning and zoning. So we'll go through each item, and as we go through those items, and Hazel Street is not on there as for a second reading. It is not on there. But we'll go through, anyone that wants to talk about any of these zoning issues, we went through these. The first reading has been through planning and zoning. Did the first reading in December. This will be the second reading. So if Doug, if you will take us through some of these items one by one, if you don't mind.
Sure. I can take one by one or all as a group for consideration?
One by one.
One by one?
Let's do it one by one.
Sounds good. So the first item that you have under old business, under item A, this is a rezoning application from Keith McCracken representing the Curtis and Raynell Shallert Trust. This was brought in October, but did not proceed forward. In November, this was brought again with the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. This is seeking to rezone only a specific portion of the original lot at this time. And like I said, Planning and Zoning did make the recommendation for...
As I recall, this is like the eastern 20%.
That it's more like the eastern 80%, I think. No, 20% it is.
Okay, so it's about the eastern fifth of
Yeah.
that lot. And in the future, as we start our growing pains here, let's have a map so we can point that out. This is the lot that is on South Eisenhower between Country Club Estates and, for lack of a better word, my friend Leonard Witt. There's a blank lot there. And this is looking at only putting multifamily housing on the eastern fifth of that property. Okay, do I have any motions on item A?
I'll move that we approve Bill 9114.
I'll second.
Okay.
Clerk will have to read it first.
Oh, sorry. I don't expect you there, I expect you over there. So go ahead and read it.
Second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9114, an ordinance approving the rezoning of part of the Shallert Trust owned property.
Okay, we've got a first and second. Any discussion? I think we've been through this in depth. Okay. Anyone from the audience want on this particular issue? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gasper.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Indovina.
Okay, item B.
Yep, item B. So this is another rezoning petition from Mr. Daniel Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez plans to split his triple-sized lot into two separate lots, eventually building a second home on the property. Once either lots have been split equally or a variance has been sought. The current issue with this particular lot, 1509 Glen Street, is that it is in Callan's Addition. And as you know, Callan's Addition was built almost 100 years ago. There is a lot of permitted non-conforming uses. So because of the permitted non-conforming nature in that area, if he was to want to change his property or his house was to burn down, he wouldn't be able to rebuild. And what this does is this would approve of that. Planning and Zoning Commission made a recommendation. A first reading was approved. And the other thing is, well, there is discussion this month at the next Planning and Zoning meeting to upzone all of Callan's Addition anyway to
what it is.
To what it is, to make it permitted conforming instead of permitted non-conforming.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, I'll answer them.
No, we've been through this as well. I think I understand it. Kelly, can you read the item? Item B.
Second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9115, an ordinance approving the rezone of 1509 Glen Street.
Any motions?
Move that we approve bill number 9115.
Second.
Call the roll. Well, let's, wait, we got to have discussion here. Is there any discussion? I think we've been through this, went through it last time. Is there anyone from the audience want to speak on this particular item, 1509 Glen Street? Okay, hearing nothing. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Aye.
All right, item C.
Under C, so we have a petition from Jacob and Alyssa Vaughn. This is a preliminary plat of the North Hills subdivision. Preliminary plat was updated to reflect recent lot sizing changes that came about from the August 27th meeting. That was not moved forward, as tabled. This is actually from a different plat that was presented in November at P&Z. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend to the City Commission to approve that, and it was approved last month.
Kelly, can you read the item?
Second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9116, an ordinance for approval of the preliminary plat for Phase 2 of the North Hills subdivision.
Okay, do you have any motions?
Move that we approve bill number 9116.
Second.
Okay, discussion. As I recall, they have updated the plat, so entries on the North 17th Street. Instead of 7, there's 1. Okay, and this is the plat, much better.
One in and, yeah, basically
one in,
two
one out.
two ways in, 2 ways out.
All right, is there anyone from the audience who would like to come up and talk about the North Hills Division?
Let me, Mr. Mayor. Just for clarity, Murray Bischoff, the newspaper. The issue that isn't addressed that's tangential to this is what to do about 17th Street, how quickly you will address that in relation to the advancement of the plat, if you have any plans at this point. 17th is a little more crucial because it's the narrowest part of 17th, whereas this 2230 is, perhaps you can wait on that, but it seems to cry out for a commitment to do something about 17th Street early on. Thank you.
We are taking a look at it. We did take a measurement of the traffic. If you know, those of you who've been out there and see those speed limit signs that flash and let you know when you're going, well, that also collects data. So the data that we got from that, because traffic use consideration, is that yes, during school time there is a lot more traffic there, or more traffic. That's the highest traffic. The second thing is we're looking at options of taking 17th Street south directly to the school. Now, is that happen? I don't know, but those are the things we're considering. I don't know, is there anything else in that?
Yeah, I think he's asking if we're going to do the widening of the street, is what I'm assuming you're
And the
questioning.
condition.
It's in the road improvement plan,
Right.
but it's all contingent on funding and getting it
That's it.
ready. So
Okay.
there's no timeline to it.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? Okay, call the roll.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Okay, next item.
Yep, item D, this is an approval for an overlay district, specifically for what's called the legacy lot overlay. The district in question is the north boundary of Cleveland, the east boundary of 13th and Kyler, south boundary along the Dairy Street westwards until South Lincoln, and the west boundary is north central, roughly central to Cleveland to South Lincoln. The issue here is another one of permitted non-conforming uses. In that boundary, you've got a large number of homes that were built very long ago, and effectively the current contiguous zoning zones, multiple zones that overlap each other, do not basically permit, under the current lot sizes and road frontages, they don't permit people to do what they would like to do with those lots, requiring a tremendous number of variances, which is incredibly inefficient for our Board of Adjustment and the Planning and Zoning Commission. All this would do is change those lot frontages and lot sizes and road frontages to effectively mitigate in advance almost 95% of those variance issues. Once again, it gives people the power to be able to do a lot more with their property that they are currently not allowed to do right now.
Yeah, because the houses and lots were built, and it doesn't make sense to apply the new rules
Exactly.
on something that although we're calling it non-conforming, it actually conforms to what's currently there.
Exactly. And then the other thing too is its efficiency. So it cuts out a lot of bureaucratic overhead with the with variances and Board of Adjustment.
Time and money.
Time and money.
It's something people do anyway, but they have to spend time and money for a variance.
I may be wrong, but it's $250 per
$150 plus a publishing fee, and it would remove that step in most cases.
Okay. This has been keeping the Board of Adjustments pretty busy for a while, as I recall. Okay. All right, Kelly, go ahead and read that.
Second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9117, an ordinance for a new overlay district by adding section 400.007, use, height, area, regulations, and legacy lot overlay district, a new article 111-D of chapter 400 zone regulations of the code of the city of Monett, Missouri.
Do you have any motions?
I'll move that we approve Bill number 9117.
Second.
Discussion.
I think this is such a good solution. I'm wondering who deserves credit for spotting this and bringing it.
No, it was an idea brought to me by someone who was doing the building, and
One of
there's been
the actual
discussion.
people doing, yeah, good.
So
Thank
It
you.
was the staff that brought that to us.
Right over there.
Good. All right. Does anyone from the audience want to come up and talk about item D, the legacy lot? Again, bounded by Cleveland, Front Street, 13th and Central. In that area only. Somewhere to start, we may consider other places depending on how things go with this. All right, call the roll.
Mayor Raineyberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Geisler?
Aye.
Commissioner Darren DeVito?
Item E, this is a petition from Kip and Michelle Colors for a minor subdivision. What we have here basically is a single lot that is being turned into a subdivision of 3 lots, 2 single-family homes and 1 multifamily complex, basically attached duplexes. This is already in B. It's already zoned multifamily. And they already sought and received a variance for the road frontages, which was an issue initially. So basically, they're just wanting to separate 2 single-family homes from the rest of the development is what it basically boils down to.
Yeah, this is one off Myrtle Street, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Kelly, read the item.
Second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9118, an ordinance for approval of the plat for Hubert and Gilbert's minor subdivision.
Okay, any motions?
Move that we approve Bill number 9118.
Second.
Discussion. I think we've been through this a couple of times, so anyone on the audience want to come up and discuss, talk about this particular item? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Raineyberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Geisler?
Aye.
Commissioner Darren DeVito?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to move on to new business, and if you'll notice, these are all first readings. When it comes to ordinances, in this case planning and zoning as well, these are just the first readings. There will be no vote on these items tonight.
With the exception of A and F.
I'm sorry, except for the what we just agreed to.
Right.
And some, there's
Yeah.
resolutions in there.
Boy, that was a foot in my mouth.
We gotta get it right before first.
All right, so let's do the first reading of item A.
First reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9131, an ordinance authorizing the City Council of Monett, Missouri to enter into a labor agreement with International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Union Number 7 Factory.
Okay, this is our first contract with the electrical department,
Correct.
electrical union. Okay, it's taken us about 6-8 months to do this, at least. So that's, any other on the first reading? Do you want to add?
Nope.
Okay, are there any objections to go to a second reading? We go to the second reading now because the second reading is, this is time compressed because we need to approve this contract so we can budget for it and for sure budget in the next budget year, which starts 1 April. Okay, there are no objections, let's do a second.
Motion to approve. You have to call for a motion. For the second.
To then do the second reading, yeah, I'd move that we approve bill number 9131.
I second.
Call the roll.
Second reading then.
Yeah, and now we have to have public comment.
Okay, public comments on the contract?
Can you detail what's in the, what it says, what that changes from what you had before?
The contract is in the packet.
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet.
Great.
Public.
Yeah, it's lengthy.
Okay, that's good. If the packet's there, that's
Yep.
helpful. Thank you.
Okay, do I have any motions on,
It's on the floor.
Yeah. So no more comments, so it's ready to vote.
right. Okay, call roll, please.
I second it. I have to second it, his motion.
You-
Okay, thank you.
Mayor Raderberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Candesbro,
Aye.
Commissioner Darren DeVito.
Aye.
Now, let's hope we don't have to do that again. Now we'll be ready the second time. Okay, read item B, please.
Yeah, so this is a first reading for consideration of approval of an ordinance for the rezoning of 335 West Hazel Street. This is an interesting situation. This is effectively a rezoning petition from Charlie Huntress of CTC Construction Group for what was effectively a rezoning that never occurred. So what occurred is this goes back for 4 years to 2021. There was effectively a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that recommended a rezoning to the City Council, but somewhere in that process, the City Council never approved that. What occurred is that on the GIS and for the city's purposes, it did get transferred to B, but that rezoning was not real. So the fundamental issue here is that this petition, this rezoning application would fix that issue.
Well, we have a petition, so when we talk about the petition, okay, Charlie Huntress, he has a petition. Some of the folks that came here and talked said there's another petition. Do you know anything about that?
I can speak if it's needed. So, this is the original petition that is being read. I preemptively asked him to confirm that he still wanted to go through with this, and as a way to get that in writing, I asked him to fill out a second petition to show that he's still interested in this. Theoretically, if this were to not be passed during the second reading, not tonight, of course, he would likely bring it to P&Z again in either a similar or different form. So the second petition that's included in the packet is just to show interest on his behalf, to confirm that he's still interested in this.
Okay, so there's no petition from the citizens, from what I understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, if there's a petition from the citizens, that's not what I thought you were saying.
So I perhaps used the wrong word, petition. There's a petition from the citizens. This is an actual rezoning application.
Yeah.
That's the application versus petition. My apologies.
Okay.
If this happened in 2001, is it still valid today?
No.
Or does it have to go back to P&Z?
It could go back to P and Z. The issue is that it is not the B multifamily zoning that the city and Mr. Huntress were under the assumption that existed was never actually approved. Planning and Zoning Commission made a recommendation to that effect, but somewhere in that process, the commission never approved of this rezoning. The issue is that it was moved forward with because a mistake was made that the rezoning appeared to have been approved, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the map, I'm assuming you have the map in front of you as well.
Yes.
So we're talking about lot number 40 that's on that map, that's on Hazel Street.
Mhm.
And it's showing as shaded in a multi-family, where all the properties on Pine Street
Can they send
are
us back?
That is correct.
multi-family zone.
What I'm trying to tell you is that that is not
I
correct.
understood that,
Sure.
yeah, I understood that. So the application now is to really codify, make legal what was done accidentally.
Exactly.
And did we do that at council level tonight, or does
No,
it go back?
that's the first piece.
It's a first reading, but obviously, you're kind of going back in time to mitigate an issue from quite some time ago. But I am happy to answer any other questions if you need more granularity here.
And there's nothing on that property today.
That's correct.
That's right.
If I may.
Yep.
When it was brought, or when Charlie Huntress had the petition brought to, or for a variance, excuse me, back in April, which is what a lot of these folks had raised a separate petition for, that is, I believe, when this error was caught. And so we had, the city staff had tried to figure out exactly where this went wrong. It effectively was just a mistake on an email sent to our GIS mapper that we tend to look at the GIS map as correct. Moving forward to later this summer of this year, we reached out to the city attorney as part of Labor Law. It was the previous one, Nate Daly, I believe is his name, correct me if I'm wrong. He was under the impression that this was effectively tabled. It never went to the commission, or I'm sorry, to council. So his position as the city representative for city attorney was that as long as we provided proper public notice again, that it could be brought to city council without having to go back to P&Z. But that's his opinion.
But if the council isn't comfortable with it, they can always vote it down, which would then initiate the requirement for a reapplication with current information.
To P&Z.
To P&Z, to go through the whole process appropriately.
But that's next month.
Correct.
Is this on the agenda? So we got a planning and zoning meeting on 21 January.
It is not on that agenda.
Let's put it on there.
Okay.
I like that. I'd like to.
You got to vote on this first.
Yeah. That's not
So-
gonna happen until next month.
If they vote no to the first reading, does that
That
send it
kills
back?
it.
It kills it.
Well, it kills it, which is kind of where I think it sounds like you want to be. You want it restarted. To have it on the next agenda for P and Z, you've got to go through the process of
We're able
notification.
to vote on the first reading.
You can all, a first read, yes, can be voted on, but I don't think you guys traditionally vote on them. You just read. And so you could, instead of reading it, you could postpone it. Then it doesn't, and then it sits, but that doesn't send it back. You could, on your own motion, ask that it go back for reconsideration, or they can choose to wait until second read when it's decided not to approve. You could do,
What's the urgency of having it on the
Yeah.
January P&Z?
I don't, now having listened to the discussion, problem I have with it looks like spot zoning to me. Okay? And is this a twoplex, a threeplex, a fourplex? Do we have two?
So my understanding is it originally started out as four duplexes, and it has,
On this blank lot?
Way back 4 years ago.
4 years ago, which
Yes.
has had development since. What is
Yes.
there now is new since the time that you had a proposal of the 4.
Okay. This one kind of surprised me until I read the packet today, so I'm not ready to move forward with this.
So
I've
they
got
could-
some more questions.
They can make a motion to send it
I
back.
don't
to
think we're
P&Z.
going to get a full answer here.
I think they're good.
Your options are you could make a motion to send it back to P&Z, and you vote on that motion, and that would send it back, if that's the council's desire.
Yeah, I move that we send it back to P&Z.
And then
Not sure that resolves your problem though, because they are gonna need to reapply. You need a triggering mechanism to reapply it. You want them to start all over, and the only way you would do that is truly a negative vote at a second read. So you could do a second read tonight and vote against it, and then a person could start over.
That's
You
a
can,
change in the agenda if we do a second reading.
Yeah, let's.
We already changed the
If we
agenda
choose.
Can we amend it again?
unless you've got a rule somewhere in your
I
policy that
don't
you
think-
can't.
I think we need to be consistent here. So we'll put up the consistent reading. My opinion, I've already stated my opinion, that it needs to go back to planning and zoning. Do we need a vote tonight?
Is the applicant desiring to reinitiate, or is the applicant attempting to get it passed?
My understanding is attempting to reinitiate, as
So-
per the application that you have in your packet.
Okay, so that applicant can choose to withdraw that application, and that would terminate it. If the applicant is not against that, that would resolve it, then they would go through the entire process.
I cannot speak for the applicant, but we can certainly ask, and I don't necessarily think that that's outside.
So
the
a
possibility.
postponement of it indefinitely without a date certain would also take care of it for today. You have your act for today, or you can vote on it today, either way. I mean, you don't vote, you've read it. So you checked your box. It will automatically come up at next meeting, or you can postpone it indefinitely, and then he can withdraw it. That then pulls it off of your consideration and reinitiates.
But that's a motion to postpone,
Reapplication.
right?
Motion postpone indefinitely and passed by 2, and then you don't have to do anything until it comes back on an agenda, or you've done your first, it then comes on the next, which is the safer option, because you don't have that applicant here today. So that, say that applicant says, no, really, I want that 4, I feel like I'm promised, and then you can vote on the second read, and you can vote it down or vote it for. It's probably a safer mechanism.
And P&Z has a requirement of, what, 15 days prior?
Yeah,
It
they
could
gotta
not be on
publish.
January's
Right.
P&Z regardless.
We can
So,
publish in time.
It would be February's meeting.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we just move forward, we have first reading, move forward, put it on the February agenda, and we vote the second reading.
Staff's good with that?
I don't have a problem with it.
Question, if it's been approved by P&Z 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, is it actually zoned multifamily?
No.
It's not, it's still zoned.
Zoning doesn't occur until you guys make it happen.
Yeah, that's what started the problem. So, yeah, 4 years ago.
She still has to do a first reading. She's not done a first reading.
Okay, go ahead and do the first reading.
First reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9130, an ordinance approving the rezoning of 335 West Hazel Street, Monett, Missouri.
Okay, so as I understand it, we can make a motion to postpone. Exactly.
Or you can leave it set and let it ride. He can then withdraw it, and then it doesn't show up on your next agenda, but if he doesn't withdraw it, it's at the next agenda, and you could vote it down or vote to pass it.
So it'll appear in February as a second reading, and you all can vote no if you choose to, or
Or
you can
yes.
pass it.
Okay, there's still information before I vote.
Yep.
There's some other more information on this, if that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I move we postpone.
No, we're good. We can move on to the next item.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yep.
So we don't need any motions.
No.
And we'll do the second reading next time.
February 12th.
Yeah, and I'll sit down with you all to go through some of the issues. Spot
Yes.
zoning is a big one.
And this would be considered that under,
No, I don't, so.
Yeah, I know we're not going to have the discussion now, but we're going to have discussion before we do the second reading. Okay, let's go on to item C.
Yes, item C is an ordinance to establish an airport commission. This would expand, we currently have an airport board, it was under a resolution. However, after discovering that, we really want to make this an ordinance, expanding this board or this commission to a 7-member commission. The charter is also in your packet describing who that membership would be. It is, the board can establish a commission. This would be an advisory commission for the airport. And staff is recommending that we move forward on this. This is a first reading only.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the first reading.
First reading and consideration of approval of ordinance number 9124, an ordinance to establish the airport commission for the city of Monett with service to the Monett Regional Airport.
Okay, this is the first reading. Any discussion?
Mayor, if I may, I know you had a lot of people on the last issue. Sometimes it's helpful to let them know it's not considered rude if they want to leave now.
It's not rude if you'd like to leave. The rest of the stuff is pretty boring.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, it would.
I know.
So in summary, what we're doing is we're going from 5 to 7, and we're going to include representatives from Berry County. That's the meat of it. We're going
That is the
to change
meat
a
of it.
couple of things. So we do the second reading in February, followed by a resolution of who's going to be on that commission.
That's correct.
Okay. Correct. All right. Any discussion?
No.
Okay. No objections with moving the second reading? Not tonight. No.
Yep.
In February. Okay. Next item.
This is a first reading for consideration of the Chapter 353 initiative for the historical downtown Monett redevelopment. We've done a lot of work on this initiative. I'm thankful for our city attorneys. We do have a city attorney represented tonight if there's any questions, but this is just the first reading for this ordinance. Second reading will be February 12th to establish the corporation and establish the initiative.
Okay. And first reading of this, we've done public hearings. This is about tax incentives or tax abatement for those who want to improve in the downtown. Downtown in this case is defined as between Bond, Broadway, and all the way down to Front Street from Central to 13th Street. And how much the abatement, and it's 100%. Everyone has a base level, what they're paying right now. They do improvements, they get their base changes. Those taxes, because of what they have done, are going to be abated on 2 different schedules. First 10 years, that's phase 1. So, and there are varying things in there. If you want, the rules are in your packet.
Yeah.
And if you go over $150,000, it goes to 15 years. And if you go to greater than $750,000, it will be for 20 years. Okay, and these rules were made by the 353 Commission, and that included the presiding commissioner of Berry County. We're going to work with the county for this because it's going to have an impact on the county. And I appreciate those who were on that commission, which is now disbanded.
Yes.
So as I understand it, first reading tonight, second reading in February, followed by a resolution of designating the 5 people that are going to be on that corporation. The corporation takes the rules and then applies it with different applications on those who want to make improvements to their property.
Correct.
Okay? And there's a little, it needs to be by case basis, but the overall rules have already been set. Any discussion? Did I miss anything?
I have just a question to educate myself. In the documentation, it talks about the pilots, and the pilots would be, the payments would be made equal to a certain percentage of the taxes due. How does that work? Who makes those payments? How do the pilots work?
The taxpayers pay the payments, and those are the pilots that are in, that are here for barrier and.
Yeah, it's available, I think, in every one of the options. The pilots are only, yeah, they're for the first phase, and they are equal to 100% of the taxes that were due.
Right, but it talks about pilot payments. Yes. So is the property owner remitting the full tax and then they get a reimbursement? No.
They're only getting an abatement for the improvements made.
Right.
So, yeah, their base, they always have to pay. Is that what you're asking?
The verbiage says that the payments will be made equal to percentage of the taxes due. So I'm just curious as what the.
Place up the taxes and so that's.
It's all right. It's just an education for me.
So I said something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Sarah?
I think, sorry, not to jump in, I do this work also. Sometimes, I think the confused part is once it goes through the 353, then you're not actually paying taxes anymore.
Right.
You're paying pilots in place of the taxes. And so the pilot payment is what the homeowner or property owner pays instead of taxes.
And that is paid to?
The county.
Okay.
Or the city, I'm not sure in this case who's
The
collecting.
county.
Okay, the
County is
county
the collector.
and the distributes.
And they distribute accordingly. So they're just paying, so it's using the term pilot, but that is actually their tax bill, but their tax bill is reduced.
Pilot is payment in lieu of taxes.
Right.
Yep.
But, okay, I guess that's where my confusion is, because they're still paying taxes, they're just paying a reduced amount.
But you're only talking about that increased value amount too, but yes, that is
Yes.
correct,
Well,
that is
they're-
different.
What they're paying is what was locked in, not
Yes.
the increase.
Correct,
That
but
is
I'm saying
correct.
you're still paying, you're paying a tax on the base,
Yeah.
and then it's a pilot on the above.
Yeah, and that's, it's probably a semantics thing, that's where I'm confused, is that it's a payment in lieu of taxes, but it's still their taxes, it's just a smaller amount. It's really the original amount, or what they've always been paying, they're not paying on the incremental increase.
That's been assessed, because once they make an improvement, if they were paying 1,000 and their property value goes up, they're gonna be paying, should be paying more, but now this incentive, they get that abated.
Right, but I guess that is now just coined a pilot versus their property tax.
Pilot is a standard term used in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it, okay. I get it.
And she's gotta do the first reading of that.
Please do the first reading.
First reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9125, an ordinance approving the historic downtown Monett redevelopment plan.
Okay, any discussion? We good on pilots? All right. Anything else?
Is that Jake?
I don't think, yeah. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay, any objections to move the second reading in the next city council meeting?
Yeah, it'll be on the agenda. Good.
Okay, second reading, next agenda. Okay, next item.
Item E is related to the TIF number 3. Sarah is here from Gilmore and Bell, and to meet some requirements, Sarah needs to present to council.
Okay.
Good evening, Sarah Bernhardt with Gilmore and Bell. And as was mentioned, this is statutorily required findings that need to be entered onto the record. And so that's what I'm going to start with. I'll do just a really brief summation of what this item is, and then open for any questions should you want more information. So the first item of business is to enter into record the exhibit list. The full documents and the listing of this are on file with the city clerk, but I'll just read through the 10 items by name, so bear with me here. Number 1 is the roster of the TIF Commission. Number 2 is the First Amendment to Monett TIF Number 3 TIF Plan. Number 3 is the Notice of TIF Commission Public Hearing sent to taxing districts on November 3rd, 2025, and return receipts. Item 4 is the affidavit of publication for first published notice and notice of request for proposals published in the Lawrence County Record and continuing the Monett Times on November 19th, 2025. Item 5 is notice of TIF Commission public hearing sent to taxpayers on December 2nd, 2025. Item 6 is affidavit of publication for second published notice published in the Lawrence County Record and continuing the Monett Times on December 10th, 2025. Item 7 is the Sunshine Law notice of TIF Commission meeting posted at least 4 business days prior to the hearing. Item 8 is minutes of the TIF Commission meeting held on December 18th, 2025. Item 9 is Resolution 2025-02 of the TIF Commission recommending approval of the First Amendment. And item 10 is Sunshine Law notice of City Council meeting posted at least 4 business days prior to the hearing. With those on record, the item before you right now, which I'm sure you're all aware of, is the First Amendment to Monett TIF Number 3. The original TIF Number 3 was approved by TIF Commission on February 20th, 2025, approved by City Council on May 8th of 2025. That included 74 acres south of Highway 60, and it included $1.6 million of road and stormwater projects, of which slightly over $1 million was anticipated to be paid from TIF funds, and the remainder to be paid by a cost-sharing agreement with MoDOT. This First Amendment adds 140 acres north of Highway 60, so adjoining that Highway 60 line that was already included. These are commonly known as the Keeling property and then the property surrounding Cox Hospital. This additional acreage and amendment adds public improvements to those items eligible to be reimbursed by TIF revenues that consist of roads, water detention, and utility improvements in an anticipated amount of $11.3 million. That's approximately $10.1 million for redevelopment project area 2 and $1.2 million for redevelopment project area 3. The amendment retains the city as developer of the public improvements, and it splits redevelopment area, the entire redevelopment area, into 3 redevelopment project areas, each to have different implementation dates. As I briefly mentioned, that area 1 is the original TIF, and then 2 and 3 that I mentioned are the Keeling property and then the property around the hospital. The blight study is in the agenda packet, and it details the blighting factors for the added property. We will come back at a time when private development is known to supplement the plan with cost-benefit analysis for those redevelopment project areas 2 and 3 that would, before activating the tax increment financing for those areas. So this will come back eventually, but this is just to make sure that we get the public improvement portion within the process. The final piece of information that I will give you is that the TIF Commission, which again met December 18th, unanimously approved this amendment. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Sounds like there's a lot of hoops to go through and gone through them.
You have gone through them. That is what the exhibit list shows, yes.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
Then city clerk needs to do the first reading.
Okay, go ahead. First reading.
First reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9126, an ordinance approving First Amendment to Monett TIF Number 3 Tax Increment Financing Plan, expanding the redevelopment area, designating the added property as a blighted area, and designating a developer.
Okay, any discussion on the resolution?
Will TIF Commission meet again in the future?
Yeah, they will at some, go ahead.
The TIF Commission will meet at the time that an amendment comes up or there is a new TIF. It's just activated as needed to consider TIF matters.
Now, Stuart, what kind of things would be TIF matters were they, other than an amendment? I mean, just based on your experience.
Yeah, amendment or new TIF plans
The new
in
TIF
other areas.
plans, of which this was, okay.
Yeah.
So this TIF area now extends to north of Highway 60. And that stoplight out at Lowe's, that road will go north. We will develop that property and the area around the hospital, not directly around the hospital. And as I recall, we're looking at 140 acres.
107 around the hospital.
107 around the hospital, and then, okay,
Yep.
so total of 140 acres for development. Okay, any other discussion or objection before we go to a second reading of the next city council meeting? Done. Okay, hearing none, we'll go to a second reading of next city council meeting. Okay, let's go to item F.
So as we amended the agenda, this will be a first and second reading. This is consideration for the city annex located at 100 South Maple Street to be the official site of the city of Monett city council meetings and the commission meetings. And so we'll need to do a first reading and then follow up with your motion and second reading.
Okay. First reading?
First reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9127, an ordinance to establish the city annex located at 100 South Maple Street as the official site for the city of Monett, Missouri, city council regular monthly meeting, and city commission's regular monthly meetings to conduct city business.
Okay, this simply says, with same time, same date for regular city council meetings. The only thing that's changed is the place, and this will be the place. Any discussion?
No, I don't have any, but I want to congratulate all those people who put this together and created this for us. This is a tremendous addition to the city of Monett.
City staff contributed a lot. I'll speak to that in my report.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve bill number 9127.
I will second it.
Okay, I guess we've done the second reading. Let's pretend we didn't.
We haven't, we need to do a second reading.
Yeah.
Then we'll call it.
The second reading and consideration for approval of ordinance number 9127, an ordinance to establish the city annex located at 100 South Maple Street as the official site for the city of Monett, Missouri City Council regular monthly meeting and city commission's regular monthly meetings to conduct city business.
And you have to call for public hearing.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience would like to talk about this particular issue? Or is everyone, all department heads happy with being in the new home here? Okay, I'm seeing a lot. So no objections? Okay, any other discussion from the commissioners?
Negative. No.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Mayor Raineyberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar?
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina?
Aye.
Okay, next item.
This is a reading and consideration of approval of a resolution. And really, this just builds partnership with Drury University. They have a program that offers one free credit hour per semester. And it would be, our employees would be eligible for that and their immediate families. So this is just a resolution saying we're entering into that partnership with them.
So for any employee in Monett and their families,
Immediate family.
they could get, what if someone has two kids and they both want to take one? Is it per person or per family?
It's those two kids would get free.
Each get a credit hour?
Yeah, this is a program that Drury Go brought to the city and to other industries here in town.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal, and I appreciate the partnership with Drury.
I'll move that we approve bill number 9128.
I will second it.
Discussion.
Well, I think it's wonderful too.
Hearing none, call the roll.
Mayor Raineyberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar?
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina?
Aye.
Okay, item H.
This is a resolution for us to enter into an agreement. This is a partner that we've used in the past to help us with some code clarification. Our community development department is looking at multifamily housing and the tiers there. If you've got questions, Mr. Potts can answer those, but this is just a short-term agreement that will help us with some work.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions?
This is really the issue we had a few months ago. Multifamily housing could be anything from a duplex up to a three-story apartment building.
Exactly. B multifamily is a giant catch-all as it stands right now. And most other communities typically will break out multifamily into, like, for instance, pursuant to our codes, B1, B2, B3, which would have different stratified layers of various high density or multifamily.
Okay, so we're hiring this person, but that's the major objective, correct?
Correct.
Is there other stuff out there?
There might be a few other things that we would like to consult with him on.
Just
but
consultative.
Exactly. But specifically, there is some of these consultative things that we are doing right now, which will be on the planning and zoning meeting this month.
And it's a not-to-exceed agreement.
Okay. What are the limits on the agreement?
10,000.
10,000, okay. All right, let's go ahead and, let's do the reading. Let's do the reading. We already done the reading?
Yeah, I think it's just a resolution, so it just needs a motion.
I'm going to be approved bill number 9129.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mayor Raineyberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar,
Aye.
Commissioner Candy Davina.
All right. Nick, anything on the city administrator reports you'd like?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. The IT Steering Committee continues to look and oversee the updates to the system, and that's moving along. We've made quite a lot of progress this week, so I'm very glad of the IT Steering Committee. Chapter 353, I updated the Monett Main Street this last week, their committee, their business committee, that it was going before council, so I'll continue to build that relationship with Monett Main Street. We conducted our monthly department head meeting. We'll do that again. Obviously, we do that every month. The TIF number 3 commissioners meeting, I attended that. It went well. Appreciate that we're moving forward on TIF number 3. We celebrated 2 milestone retirements. Julie Balmas and Dennis Myers both have retired from the city, both served the city very well. We're very appreciative of their work. We're appreciative of all of our employee long-term services that are going on in our city. I hosted the department head Christmas luncheon. I think we had a good time. We had some laughs, so that's a good thing. Attended and spoke at the Monett Fire Department Christmas banquet. I've got to say our fire department did a great job. Commissioner Indovina was there as well, and it was a really good night to celebrate together.
Is this the one out at the casino?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think we have every fire truck in a 2-county area there, so.
And I want to say that we had coverage in the city during that entire time with the mutual aids that Chief Pennington has built. Our city was always protected, and we had mutual aid that night. We had trucks in our bays that have never been in our bays before from mutual aid communities, which is a milestone really, and really it speaks to the leadership of Chief Pennington. Also volunteered at the Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. I got to help line up things, and it was very fun to do that. We've met with GoCaps, and in fact, several of our city employees have met with GoCaps now. I found out today, I think we're going to have an intern join our city staff in our community development department, so I'm very excited about working with GoCaps, and we're moving forward on that. I attended the Monett Chamber of Commerce Leadership Graduation Luncheon. Commissioner Gaspar and I were able to participate in leading part of the Leadership Monett, and so we both attended the graduation, and I think we've got some really bright folks that could be commissioners and serve on some of our boards. I attended the mayor's VIP tour of the city annex, and we had several individuals from the community that came and attended that. And I also attended the Chamber Foundation Board, which I serve as the city representative on that board. I do want to announce that next week there will be historical artifact discovery going on in Kelly Creek. And so this is part of the Kelly Creek project, and so they'll walk the entire Kelly Creek.
Who's that?
It's
Me.
nah,
Kelly Creek,
it's the federal government that is contracted with this.
NRCS?
Yeah,
NRCS?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you very much. And then I also just want to say that the city annex would not have come about if it weren't for some of our departments really pitching in. Saved the city hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. That includes all the electric lights were installed. It was very dark and dingy in here until we put the LED lights in. And I say we, I use that very loosely. That was really Eric that did that. The Parks Department, everything you see with the exception of your benches was put together by the Parks Department. Again, the Electric Department hung all the TVs. Public Works, to my surprise, they crack sealed the parking lot prior to this first meeting. I knew it was on their agenda, but they got that done pretty quickly. And then our communication specialist, Mike, has put in a lot of time for this building. So I appreciate all of the departments coming together because it literally saved the city thousands and thousands of dollars. Remodels like this are not cheap, and we were able to do it at a nickel and dime, and I think we got a pretty good product.
I think you got a quarter's worth.
Yeah, I appreciate everything that everybody did. So that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor. Oh, and I'm sorry, the city attorney wants to speak.
Before she speaks, I just want to say well done, you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm a big cheerleader. To better clarify your question on the pilots would be a requirement as part of the contract with the Urban Development Board and the person. When those payments in lieu of taxes, they are then divided in the same way to which any payment is. So it's appropriated according to the ad valorem proportions.
So are they captured prior to the county, or they're still paid to the county?
They are paid in, and then, because you're on an abatement, so you can't change that abatement part. And so you do these, we make up words, right?
Sure.
We make up little pilots. And so they're still getting that portion of that money. So that is who's getting it.
It's just an extra
But we
step.
can't really call that a tax when there's a portion of it that's abated.
Okay. Yeah, common.
But that is known from the beginning when you enter into that contract.
Sure, yeah, I would
So-
say common understanding would be that you're just paying the same amount you paid before.
Right, and it's not that, it's just if there's a buffer, there needs to be a fairness, because you could have a vacant lot, that there's a big difference, right, as opposed to just a rejuvenation of your business, and you may not feel like that deserves the same credits as, say, somebody who saves the beautiful buildings that you have down there, and that is pursuant to 353-110.4.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, any motions to go into closed session?
We still have to do the financial report.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, everyone. We will do the financial reports every month at our city council meetings. I would like to report that all, up until October of 2025, is reported in our packet tonight. It is in your packet, so for review. If there's going to be questions, you will review this before the meetings, and we will discuss appropriately depending on what it is. According to everything that has been presented to me, we are entering the budget season for next year. We will start talking budget at our next council meeting in February here. We will have a vote in February and an approval in March if we can get it all done. In your packet that you get from our city clerk, it will be in there so you can have reference to everything that we've done. Up until the last month prior, that everything has been paid, has been October of 2025. Everything runs about 60 days to get everything remediated and paid. All our funds are paid, and if there's any type of information you'd like to know about audits, you can review that on our City of Monett webpage.
All right. Thank you. All right, the next work session will be here, 22nd January, 9:30. It won't be in this room. There is a work session room as you come in to the right. So where I'm pointing on the northeast corner of the building. Our next regular city council meeting here, February 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. All right, do I have any motion to go into a closed session?
Okay, I'm gonna move that we go into closed session now. Question first, Mr. Harry. We will remove ourselves from this room and return to this room during closed session. So those who want to partake in staying can listen to what the decisions were made. I will move that we go into closed session. Council will convene in the close pursuant to section 610.021, subsections 1, 2, and 3 to discuss legal matters, real estate, personal matters, and the designated people to join the council will be the city clerk, Meet the area city manager and also our city attorney.
Anticlimactic.
Do we need an applause here? No, okay. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Randy Britt.
Go Cubs.
Commissioner Daniel Sly.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Indovino.
Aye.